Can you hear me now, Aaron? All right,
Yes.
we'll have just a quick introduction.
Eric McKeon from the Central New York Regional
I
Planning.
know why.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that I was supposed to. Yes, thank you very much. That's right, Aaron McKeon, Central New York Regional Planning and Development Board. Good morning.
All right, thanks, Aaron. And we have Emily Fell online as well. Morning, Emily. She's with DEC, and then Matt.
Yeah, hi, good morning, everybody. Matt Genscher, I'm with Resource Environmental Solutions.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to. Do we have a quorum?
Yes, we have a quorum.
All right, let's take care of minutes. Anybody have issues with the minutes that Michelle prepared? You want to make a motion to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Dr. Joy, a second, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Perfect. We're gonna skip new business since Doug's not here. Doug number 2. And we'll go to working groups and committee reports first, communications and outreach.
Communication and outreach. Everything is running smoothly, mostly to the efforts of Michelle. We got a blog post that went out last week, right?
From Adam.
Yeah, from Adam. And Michelle,
The newsletter went out.
newsletter, oh, okay.
On invasive species, it went
Oh,
out.
okay. See, Michelle's taking care of it all.
To keep us on track.
Right.
And it was a great timely blog post. I actually shared it with the regional planning directors in CNY because they're also looking for, info and basic data on data centers and water quality and all that stuff. So perfect
Great,
timing.
I'm glad.
Yeah, agreed.
Michelle, invasives, species.
Pretty much just what was in the newsletter.
Fine. Agency reports, health department.
So there's 2 links on the thing that Michelle sent. Of course, first off, tabs, as we already know, conditions are becoming absolutely perfect for algae. Timing of rainfall and this temperature, I shudder to think what the rest of the summer will be like. But anyway, so HABs are lighting up everywhere. I forgot what the second link was, though. What did we talk about?
The hydrilla.
Oh, the hydrilla. So hydrilla treatment started. We took our first sample last week. Everything was fine with that.
I think it was this week it
Or
started.
no, sorry. It started. Oh, that's right. I'm off because I'm a day off. I'm a week off because of the 4th. They did it yesterday. So anyway.
What are you sampling for that?
So this is where the Army Corps is using the herbicide to put down the hydrilla near the Wells College dock area, south of there. It's just the.
Do you want me to explain it a little more?
Yeah,
Because I just did all the
Is
website.
this the 7th season?
So there's 3 different treatment areas this year. DEC's taken over all the treatment
Okay. You know more
because
than I do, just repeat what he said.
the U.S. Army Corps doesn't have the money anymore. So they're just assisting with the sampling program. They have the permit for the South Aurora, which is kind of at the bottom of or like a little bit down towards Long Point. They're waiting on the permit for North Aurora, which is the bay, Wells College Bay, and up towards Mackenzie Childs. And then they're going to do copper treatment below Long Point. So there'll probably be like 2 different treatment days, and
So it's like proactive herbicide where hydrilla had been previously identified. Doesn't mean it's there now, but it could be working. So this is basically pre-treatment essentially, but.
and they're going more towards they're not trying to eradicate it anymore. They don't have the money to continue that, so now they're gonna move more towards like where boat launches and things are, where people would be getting out of the lake and hopefully keeping it from moving.
Are the locations where hydrilla is on IMAP invasives, or is there a place we can go to look because we knew it was at a couple places. I haven't heard that it's near like Great Gully or anything else. Like how would I know?
If you
where it
go
is?
to the health department website,
Yes.
there's a link, there's a DEC website that has all the sites in Cayuga Lake. But the link is on the health department website. It's hard to find
I'll put in the
otherwise.
minutes, I rarely look at our website, so I don't know what's there, so.
I helped them Friday to get it all.
I was gonna say, Michelle updated it for them.
We thank you.
Well, I just want to make sure that none has been located.
I mean, as far as
Where
we
we're
know,
cutting.
like, right as of today, there isn't any hydrilla actually, like, here's some that, as far as we know, right? It's spotters and.
Did you want to
volunteers, so.
see where it is?
That's, yeah, I just
But
want to
where it
make
showed
sure.
up originally, those, those are clearly focused, but I mean, that's smart to just say, let's just go to where the boat launches are now, rather than later.
So I just want to make sure that inadvertently with our road cutters,
Oh, well.
like, okay, we're familiar with it being Aurora, we don't go that far south, we go to Great Gully, right, and then work our way north. So if there's other patches, we look for all the weeds, if something looks like it, we verify, make sure it's Olivia or whatever, but I just wanted to, man, if there's somewhere where I could tell our guys, stay out of there, don't go near that, or.
The volunteers and the spotters, that's where they come in handy through, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what the network does through there, but.
That's why I wasn't sure if it was through, the Prism or something like that had an updated, verified map that we could.
Doug, is that one that you risk proliferating with cutting?
Correct.
Yeah.
More so than anything.
Yeah, so you want to leave it alone?
Yeah, that's our plan. If we see any, we're sorry.
Can you guys online see that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Oops, I gotta move you. It's just taking a while.
Or others, something we could highlight, like, hey, everybody be careful down here with
They must have.
Oh, there we go.
because there's a big incident north.
Can you send that link in the minutes
Closer to
later?
canals,
Yeah.
it's the worst.
It's so shallow.
There you go,
We'll
Jen.
use tactical nuclear weapons if that happens.
That's the treatment area. IMAP invasives might have, I know they went out last week to do a survey. So I don't know if that'll differ from this, because this is a permitted treatment. They have to treat under their permit, so they can't treat outside. So if they find anything outside of these areas, I don't know if they're gonna put that on here.
Would you stay north of Great Gully?
Correct.
Like what, like
We go
mile, half a
into
mile or
That little
whatever?
bay right there, and then
Oh,
we go
that's
all the
tough.
way north to the lot, essentially. Sometimes you skip, because
Sure.
but there's no docks or anything like that.
I'm not sure what those points are.
It plants and the natural flows along the east side of the lake and north. You can just wonder, not if, but when, if it's something,
Abuse.
So you see these little spots here?
right?
That's where they're doing harpoon, which is the copper treatment. So they do that where it's outside of the main treatment. So they found it up here in the Great Gully,
Is that it out?
To the south?
there.
You know,
Where the guy has that boat houses and we have.
So right now they have the permit to do this area, and they're waiting on the permit for this area. And this one's going to be treated in August with harpoon.
Thanks for the info.
Do you know if that helps with the Sanovac or any of the copper?
I'm not sure.
That's one of the treatments that sometimes they'll use for Sanovac to control copper, but is it, they used to use it in
Copper
skinny,
sulfate,
yeah,
copper
they used to use
sulfate.
it in skinny atlas, but it's too tough on the fish and the other quantifiers.
This is more of just a spot treatment.
Yeah.
How do I get it back?
Michelle, I think if there's questions about hydrilla management on Cayuga Lake or throughout the county, DEC has an aquatic invasive species coordinator named Emily Timke Benzinger that can help answer any questions you might have.
I did get an email saying she was leaving the DEC.
Really?
So I'm,
Okay.
so I'm not sure when that is going to, or she's leaving, I don't know if she's leaving the DEC, but she's leaving the program.
Okay, thanks for sharing that update.
But I can send that to anybody who's,
Because I've been getting emails from her.
I got it from the Cayuga Lake Watershed Network,
Okay.
but she hasn't like told us as the hydrilla task force, but we haven't had a meeting this month. It was a couple weeks ago.
All right. Doug number 2 is still not here, so we're gonna skip parks. Michelle has the update from planning department.
It's in the partner report. Do you still? I did do an invasive species training at Montezuma with the PRISM and the National Wildlife Refuge at Montezuma last month. The newsletter had invasive species topics in it. If anybody has any questions, let me know.
Doug number 1.
All right, so for us, super busy construction season. We're gearing up for weed harvesting at the moment. We had great spring and early summer, doing a lot of fire lane remediation, erosion problems, gearing up for a big stream project, working with Adam, and some funding through their group for the inlet this year. And the weed harvesting, they just came out with the invasive species general permit, and we're working through some permitting with the wetland regulations. So now we need a freshwater wetland permit to work on the lakes. So just due to the timing of permits, we're applying for one for Wasco Lake right now. That's in, and then we have to apply for Cayuga. And then with the budget cuts, we can cut Fairhaven. That's about it. So it's going to be tight this year. And especially what we learned through the permitting process is we can't even start cutting weeds until July 15th as the proposed date, similar to stream work, which if anybody's been on the water, oftentimes by the 4th of July, by this time of year, weeds are already hitting the surface and causing a problem for a lot of people. So we're going to wait and see what comes through in this permit and keep working with Region 7 on hopefully streamlining the process. It's all new stuff.
Hey. Park extension, Ben. Oh, sorry.
Are you gonna be doing some little lakes and,
Probably not this year.
probably not?
Probably not, yeah. It's gonna be a tight fit,
All right.
especially with this shortened window of harvesting, let's call it, and the permit process that we have to figure out.
Are we able to cut weeds if possible?
You would need a permit, because we specifically on our call with Region 7 talked about Bacomo. And we're being limited in terms of areas where we can cut, so we can only cut around, docks, which generally we do. We don't clear cut, other than maybe if you knew there was a popular swimming area that, like a Y camp or something like that.
So everybody has to start getting their own permits now.
Yeah, this is the first time that we've been doing it. I mean, I've been here for 30 years, and this is the first time.
Is it very hard to get, or?
We're in the process now of completing them. We'll let you know. We have one in. It's the same process we go through with stream permits, and it could take. They've been really good with follow up on some of the meetings we've had, but I mean sometimes it takes 8, 10, 12 months to get a permit, and then you go back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, it took us 3 years to get our first
That's
permit.
for years, yeah.
What's the magic of July 15th? Why is it July 15th?
Habitat.
Oh, but that's new? Or is it?
The invasive species permit for mechanical harvesting is new.
Oh.
Hand harvesting, so even limitations, when we had our call, it appears that we can't cut anything flush. We have to leave 3 foot of vegetation from the bottom up into areas. 2 passes is what they were, talking about, letting us go through with our boat, a couple passes. So, we're having some good talks with Bureau Habitat and permitting the folks at Region 7. So we're not sure because we've never needed any of it before. So the permit just dropped via email, you know, hey, by the way, since you submitted comments, the permit's out there. That was a June 8th, so 3 weeks ago notification, and then it's retroactive to May 15th, but that doesn't mean anything when weeds are growing now, and that's the final permit, you know, you can plan and base stuff on what could happen in theory, but until a permit drops, you don't know. So it finally dropped on the 8th, it's now July 2nd. And it's a very, very short window of harvesting. And these weeds are, like you say, with the harmful algal blooms, weeds love this warm temperature, warms the waters up, gets everything really popping. So it's a little stressful at the moment. You know, people don't like to hear, we're not gonna get our weeds cut when I can't get my boat out either, you know, type of thing. So it's been trying to let some people know that have been asking. It's a new process for us, it's a learning curve.
So right now you're concentrating on Cayuga, Wasco, and where else?
And a little Sodas up at Fairhaven. Plus, our budget's been cut $100,000 in the last 2 years, so that kind of limits some of our operations as well. You know, it's all impacted, as it other people in this room are.
Thanks. Jan?
Just two quick personnel updates. Finally moving along on replacing our natural resource environment educator that we share with Seneca County, doing interviews for that position. Gonna get some earlier this week and do some final interviews right after the holiday, and then should hopefully right after the holiday, the position should be up to replace Frank Clark. So hopefully we'll be back at kind of full staffing here by the end of the summer.
Okay, City of Auburn's not here, Town of Wasco.
I provided a report to the partners.
Thanks. We'll move on to Lake Associations, Cayuga Lake.
Like, well, we talked about hydrilla. We talked about halves. That's really all that's happening.
We have anyone for Cross Lake then, Seneca River?
No.
Duck Lake?
No.
All right, Pat, you're up, Lake Lone.
We're pretty close to getting ready to submit our petition for the special tax district. I think I was totaling up the names and numbers the other day, and I've got just a little bit more than what I actually need for taxable properties signed on so far. I've got quite a few of the full-time residents. That's the majority of the people I've gotten so far. I'm still working on some people that are temporary, like just summer people, to get their signatures. My plan is to go to the town board on Summer Hill at their August meeting and present the petition and get the process going. Our weed harvester is having some problems. Hasn't started in the year. We're having trouble getting it started. But now I find out we got to do a permit before we can cut. We've gotten. I wonder if anybody knows. A year ago when we did our treatment. We got a wetland permit for 5 years. So, I don't know if that will that cover. I got to call and find out if that will cover what we have to do if we get our harvester going.
It's worth a call.
Yeah.
See, maybe you can.
I made myself a note to do that. The treatment we did last year, it seems to have gotten rid of the Eurasian milfoil pretty much on the whole lake, but now the native stuff is coming up, and that's coming back. There's some stuff that's, I think it's called the horned pondweed. It's real thin, and it's just, in spots, it's just covering the lake. It's right there at the top, and it floats to shore, and I throw it up on my yard. It's like, it's like I can almost go out and bale hay with it. It has that consistency when it dries, so everybody's complaining about it. I'm disappointed to hear we're not going to be able to get the big weed cutter to come in. So hopefully we can get ours working. Our water level on the lake is down to an acceptable level now, I think partially because it's been so dry. and some other reasons that I don't want to go into, but it's down. And, you know, we're just gearing up for the 4th of July. I'm waiting to see what kind of fireworks they have on the lake this year. And we do have everybody, used to always do just the flares around the lake, bring a fire. I've gotten everybody away from the flares, and they're all using the LED flashing lights, which seems to work. People buy more of them instead of having to work till we got sections of the beach or shoreline is just covered with flares, you know, the electric flares. So that's working out nice. We're having our boat parade on July 4th at 2 o'clock. Usually get about 15 or 16 boats. We have fun with that. Other than that, everything's going good.
Great. Wasco Lake.
So, we submitted a report, we had the business at this time at the Wasco Yacht Club, and we're supporting a grant application from the ISF studying PFAS in the Wasco Lake fish. So,
Great. Skinny Atlas.
Yeah, we held our annual meeting at Lewis Camp last Saturday. We had just under about 400 people there. There's quite a few. I can attest because I hand washed the silverware and the reusable beer cups. So, but it was a good turnout. We had about half a dozen science stations set up. Dr. Boyer was there doing water samples if you brought them. They had drones. They had the bathymetric mapping. They explained the core sampling into the lake. We had the research boat there, and we also had the legacy milfoil boat where we put the benthic matting down, and that's a new boat with the lifts and davit arms and cranes and the whole 9 yards. Hopefully we won't need a permit for that. Now I want to ask that question. But and it was well attended, and it was kind of a down-to-earth grassroots meeting, which was very nice. We've started the boat stewards at all the launches, and the Hemlock program is, we did some treatment in the town of Niles and actually released some silver flies this week over down on the west side. So hopefully we're, you know, continuing to do that, and we're in a 5-year funding plan to raise a bucket load of money and for the programs that we see, and then also our HAB monitors are also starting to check. So thank you.
Great. All right, partner reports. Aaron, you're up.
Good morning. My stuff is in the status report real quick. You know, we've got the Winding Way WQIP project. That's been a couple of years in the making. Finally going to construction over the next few weeks, which is very exciting. This is a partnership between like the local road owners, the homeowners association basically, and the Skinny Atlas Lake Association and Onondaga County. So it was kind of driven by the residents, which is nice. You know, it's like they're on board with it. They want it to happen. And they're all excited that it's gonna now get built. The other big thing is we're trying to do a public meeting toward the end of August by way of doing like a 9-element update. It's not, try not to brand it too heavily as like 9-element, because that could be, it doesn't necessarily resonate with people. But, you know, lots of great stuff is going on in the Skinny Atlas Lake watershed all the time. And it's just sort of an opportunity for the public to get a look at what that all is. Yeah, that's about it from me.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dan. Anyone have questions? No. Great. Cleo?
Cleo, our next meeting is July 22nd. It's going to be at the Aurora Brewery from 3 to 5. Everyone is welcome to partake in food and drink after the meeting. I am blanking on who the presenters are. I was on venue, so. But I think that this is going to, if the presentation will allow for planning and zoning board credit, if I'm remembering correctly. And to jump back to Cayuga Lake for a second, I did want to say that the blessing of the boats is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock behind the churches. And there's free food and music and beer and if anybody wants to get their boat blessed on Cayuga Lake.
Okay, we have anyone for FLI Prism?
No.
No, okay. Finger Lakes Watershed and DEC.
Hey everyone, I shared some updates as part of the status report on some upcoming workshops that we are involved with. I'll mention that we are already planning our fall Southeast Lake Ontario Sub-Basin Work Group meeting for the Great Lakes program, and any recommendations for meetings or dates to avoid are greatly appreciated. I think we're looking to try and have the meeting at Ganondigan State Historic Site as an opportunity to connect with traditional ecological knowledge with the educators there as part of kind of a tour. So we'll have more to come on that. We're really in the early planning phases, but any suggestions, please let us know.
Thanks, Emily.
Thanks.
All right. Last but not-
I'll also
sorry.
say, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
We're still waiting on the Sterling Wolcott Integrated Watershed Action Plan review too, but I hope to have some updates on that soon.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Your turn.
My turn.
Your turn. Last but
Okay.
not least.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Updates for the Owasco Lake Watershed Management Council. I didn't provide any updates on new projects via the written report, but I can update you on ongoing initiatives. Doug referred to our collaborative stream bank stabilization project we have on the Owasco Inlet. We finally have both permits in hand to move that project forward. So we just received the Army Corps of Engineers permit on that project. It looks like with the remaining funding, after all of the design elements for that project, that will be able to hit about 2 of the 5 design sites. But with one benefit being the permit I think the permit window is in like 3 years or so. And so we can look at after, we see where we land this year, going after additional funding to try to target those remaining sites in future years. We're also looking to replace our drone that we use for watershed monitoring. Our current drone is, it's got to be about 6 or 7 years old now. And so we've been in communication with Aula about any support they may have in helping us fund their replacement. We otherwise will likely write a small grant, maybe a foundation grant, to try to cover some of those costs if possible. Also, our 9-element plan, that's the Clean Water Plan Coordination Committee or Implementation Committee, it has been reviewing some of the features of the recent stream corridor assessments that we had made under a grant for both Sucker and Vaness Brooks, looking at some of the priority project recommendations there for those assessments. I think thus far we've had some agreement around pursuing a project on Vaness Brook, and then also getting in contact with the golf course along Sucker, seeing if they're interested in any projects there. I've been working with a new group of organizations in what's called the Forest Expansion Network. And this was, it's based on an existing grant that the Nature Conservancy holds, whereby they're interested in sort of taking the reins or having this new coalition, this new network, take the reins on the state initiative under Governor Hochul for the planting of 25 million trees by 2030, which is a tall task. And I think there's some realization that there are a number of organizations that work in that space, but there hasn't really been coalescing around what it's going to look like to move that effort forward. So we've been having meetings there, trying to figure out next steps forward to really start moving towards expansion of forests throughout the state. Otherwise, we have our City of Auburn annual presentation update to the City Council in a couple of weeks, and see we can update them on our recent initiatives. And lastly, we have Aaron on the call from Regional Planning Development Board, looking at wrapping up our update to our protected streams map.
Yeah.
And I think, we had met recently on that. I think we're all on the same page. It's just a matter of completing the project. Aaron, Jesse had reached out to Bruce Keplinger and hopefully, they can connect to wrap up that project. But with the ultimate goal then of having that completed map added to Cayuga County real property online, I think would be a very useful map addition there for watershed residents.
Yeah, I know Bruce just mentioned that at our staff meeting at the beginning of the week, saying that he was gonna take, he had the bandwidth again to take a look at it. So I guess, whatever we can do, let me talk to him and see how long it's gonna take him to turn around some edits to that. But I'm not entirely sure what his situation is, but hopefully we can talk next week.
That's great. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Should I?
I want to turn this over to Michelle for Doug two's number presentation, because unfortunately we have to do it to another meeting. And I think Doug just messaged you, right?
Yeah.
I would say make him jump on the meeting link and give his presentation. I hope everyone has a fun and safe, well hydrated blood.
You too, Gary. Well,
For every adult beverage have water.
Well, actually,
Yeah,
this morning on NPR, they were saying that, like a standard beer or something, 95% water, so hydrates you very similarly to regular water.
Well, maybe that's just advice my boyfriend gives me so I don't get too drunk too fast.
You take your 95% up to 100.
All right.
Whatever.
I'm gonna give you that, and I'll see if I can have this. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Like, ever.
All right, Carrie.
does that make it in the minutes?
Can you guys see the presentation?
Yes. Connecting water quality work with the public.
Okay. We were supposed to have a discussion today, but since Doug isn't here, I'll just run through what I have. I can't actually see what I'm doing. So we were going to talk about connecting water quality work with the public, and I just wanted to go over some of the things that the WQMA does. There we go. So in 2017, we got a grant from the Emerson Foundation to brand and promote the WQMA. We used that to get logos designed, stationery, business cards, magnets, PowerPoint presentation templates, and the website. So you can see this is one of the templates for the PowerPoint presentations they got for us. It'll change as we go through it because I want to show you the different backgrounds we had. So here's the stationery and the one of I made it into a business card with our addresses on it. So they also designed our website, which also includes the news blog that we do monthly. We also do newsletters. We have a Facebook page, a YouTube channel, which has these meetings on it, as well as the presentations from the QIO. I have email lists. There's two different ones. One is the newsletter, which goes out to about 422 people. And then I have an informational email list that goes to 86 people. That's the one that I send usually Fridays. I send out a bunch of emails. And that was that.
Michelle, do you have a sense of the traffic for the Facebook page or the YouTube page?
Yes, you can track that.
Does it seem like there's fairly good traffic there? Like people are interested, or?
It depends on the topic. I get some bounce from the Facebook to the website.
tourists look at that stuff.
Yeah, sometimes we get
People
calls
that are
from
renting a camp for $4,000 for the week, they poop on those things.
Yeah.
They wanna know, really, I mean, we direct them your way usually, if they call us, but it's people coming from wherever. But you ping on the internet, water quality, that's like one of the first things that comes, you know, water quality of Wasco Lake, that's one of the first things you get, you know, so that's.
I think I get more from the YouTube channel. It depends on the presentation.
Is it because these meetings are entertaining? and people like follow along after the
Yes,
fact?
that's what it is, yes.
I think Cleo gets a little bit more, but they just do the presentation. They don't have all the business stuff on theirs. I mean, I can show you if you want to see, but you can take a look on your own. The information's on the newsletter and where to click to get to the YouTube and the Facebook.
start our own streaming service. It's that popular.
Do people find the emails useful?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always figure you just delete it if you don't care. But I send anything I get out.
My wife don't like that, keep deleting them, but after I read them, get rid of them, watering it up. I at least read them.
I like them.
Okay,
Keep them coming.
I will. Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about?
Yeah, Alma's going to have a in-person monthly meeting in July 15th, it'll be at Springside. And Springside is open for like dinners at that point. I think the meeting is in Springside opens at 5 and meeting will be at 6.
Hey, I'll chime in and say, yesterday at the Skinny Atlas Lake Association Lake Ecology Team meeting, there was a presentation from Nick Dietzler from Cornell on biocontrols for hemlock woolly adelgid. Have you guys already had a presentation from him?
Alma did.
What's that?
Alma had the,
Oh,
at the
okay.
Symposium. It's
Yeah. So
website.
might be old news, but it was I found it very informative.
He's good.
Very good. Motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's a holiday weekend.
Thank you, everyone.